Hi everyone, today we are talking about real property and what is real property? Real property is all interests, benefits, and rights inherent in the ownership of physical real estate. You're like, hey, blah, blah, blah. What does that mean? Okay, so real estate is land plus any attached improvements plus the bundle of rights that are associated with those. Okay, so you have property rights, land, and attached improvements. That equals real property. Okay, so what is land? Land is finite. It's not like you're saying, hey, let's go to the garage and make some land. You can't do that because it's a finite. It's finite. It doesn't move. It's absolutely immovable. It's not like you're saying, hey, let's take my land on vacation with me. You can't do that. There's also it also is the Earth's surface and anything that is attached to it, such as trees, water, things underneath, including mineral deposits or gas or oil, soil on the top. Let's say, for example, you're like, hey, let's sell off the topsoil. You can absolutely do that, but there's soil on top, of land. Improvements that are there. Improvements include things that are fixed and attached to the property. Okay, a house with a foundation. Okay, and it's affixed to the land. That is part of the real property. Okay, because if that house had wheels, that'd be a mobile house, and then that would be personal property, and that personal property can just drive off whenever it wants to. So we have to look at the land and its affixedness. So a house would have to be affixed with a foundation. Okay, and then we have property rights, and property rights take the total range of ownership interests in the real property. And an owner that possesses all the interests, in the bundle of rights has the most complete form of ownership. And that would include possession, the right to transfer, which means to buy or sell the property, to lease the property, to mortgage the property, to give it away, to do nothing. All of those are part of the bundle of rights, or in this case, they're not sticks in the bundle; they're coffee stirrers. So keep that in mind. So when we're looking at the bundle of rights, we have to look at the rights that are associated with the land. Okay, so you have additional rights. Those include like water rights, oil and gas rights, mineral rights, subsurface rights. That includes like, hey, guess what? You have a subway that's going on underneath your house. Well, you thought you bought that plat of land that goes all the way from the top of the sky all the way to the core of the earth. Oh no, you didn't. You so did not, because somewhere in your lease, or pardon me, in your legal description, or with your title, it's going to mention, hey, guess what? You don't have these subsurface rights because the city bought them a long time ago, and you got a subway under your house. Oops, that's why it rattles at night. So keep that in mind. Air rights also. Let's say you're like, hey, I own the air rights above my house. And someone could say, oh, no, we didn't. And then they could build something. Okay, one thing I see a lot of, actually, if you go to New York City, you'll see this, where developers are purchasing the air rights above existing structures, cantilevering. They're building properties in a cantilever, and then woo, next thing you know, there's a 50-story building that's going up above a church or above something that's been sitting there for a long time. So as you're walking down the street, it looks like one thing, but you stand back, you're like, what happened? You're like, there's a big giant high-rise above that church. So it's kind of cool to look at, but then again, the beauty of the purchase of air rights. So we'll talk about air rights in a different video. Then there's also rights that are associated with associated living. Associated living is basically is kind of group living. So I hope you like people if you're going to choose associated living, and we'll talk about that more in a different video. But keep in mind that if you have a condominium, that's ruled by condo declarations, and those condo declarations, those are laws that run that specific association. So that association is ruled by those condominium declarations affecting the bundle of rights, or the coffee stirrer rights in this case. But if, let's say, for example, you live in a planned unit development, that would be like a master plan community, 55 plus community, deed restricted community, townhome association, a subdivision. Those are those PUDs or planned unit developments. They have something called covenants, conditions, and restrictions, and those are also rules and regulations that must be followed. Say like, hey, I want to, dry my laundry in the backyard with a clothesline, and they're like, no, you can't do that. Or, oh, I want to put up holiday decorations. No, you can't do that. Why? Because it's written in the CC&Rs. So keep that in mind. All those affect your bundle, the bundle of rights. So when you are purchasing a property, make sure you're aware of the full thing and don't just get romanced by shiny appliances and granite countertops, because there's a whole lot more than just meets the eye. Okay, see ya, bye.